YouTube as well. So in case a colleague has missed, we'll be able to find it live on YouTube. I'm turning on my camera. Hopefully you're able to see me. You're able to see me? Yes, it's me, KAKURU BENARD, your host, your facilitator for today, and I will be taking you through this session. We are looking forward to passing ICT to our best. So today's guidance should be able to boost our skills in ICT Paper 2. And for today's session, we are looking at specifically item 1. Other session will be coming on as I communicate. Okay. So as we get started, I'm going to request a volunteer to raise a hand and give us an opening prayer in any language, in any religion. You are welcome. You raise your hand, I unmute you, you give us an opening prayer. Yes, I'm seeing Paul is willing to give us a prayer. You can now unmute.
Let's humble ourselves for the prayer. Father in heaven, we thank you for today. We thank you for our today's facilitation. We thank you for our today's online class, and we thank you for our facilitator, and we thank you for all those that have managed to attend. We really thank you for the network. We really thank you for our dear content that we are going to have today. We thank you for the electricity that you have given to us so that our machines can remain on. And we pray maybe the one to give us the energy, the power, the zeal, and the patience to attend this up to the end. Provide us with the facilities, let the data not expire before time, so that we can really have this done. We pray, believing and trusting in mighty name who reigns now and forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Teacher Paul, for giving us an opening prayer. That was really, really strong. And we believe God will lead us into today's session. Okay, so most of you have known my names. I'm KAKURU BENARD, your host, your facilitator. Today, basically, we are looking at how to approach item 1 of paper 2. I expect participants today, at least learners of senior 3, learners of senior 4, and our beloved facilitators, our teachers, to be part of this session as we interact. You will find that as of now, the Zoom has already hit 100 people. So those who are above that, they are going to be live on YouTube. Okay, so as your host, I've managed to publish some of these books to help the new curriculum learners, to help the new curriculum teachers, really be guided in giving you the best content. So some of these books are available for your grab to guide you in facilitating the new curriculum from senior 1 up to senior 4, and others are combined. I always give you some resources on YouTube. Just go on YouTube, search for KAKURU BENARD, and you get most of the upcoming lessons on the same curriculum or even the advanced level curriculum. So the session outline, today we are likely to look at the following. We are going to briefly look at the ICT construct. We are going to look at the elements of construct in the subject of ICT. Then we are going to look at how to approach and attempt item 1. We are going to also look at assessing ICT test items, why candidates fail item 1, and the way forward. So in case you feel we need to add more on this session outline, please, you can send in the chat section if it is not in line with what you have come for today. Do you think this session outline is satisfactory? You can use the chat section. Yes, use the chat section for now, because I may not be allowing many people to talk until at a later time, because for now, if I unmute all of you, we may have some distracting noise in the background. Yes, someone says yes, we proceed. Okay. Yes, so that is our session outline today. Now, we need to first understand the construct generally. This is for the new lower secondary curriculum. A construct, we are looking at it as a graduate profile, which describes what a learner will be as a result of attaining the competencies in a given subject. It is always one, but it has elements or building blocks. So you find that these elements or building blocks, they are the ones we base on to do assessment. So we need that graduate who can critically think, who is a responsible citizen, an effective communicator, a continuous learner, a person who can solve problems, a person who is innovative. You should be a collaborator. So this is what we call the elements of a graduate profile. So as you graduate from O level to the next level, at least you need to have all these characteristics within you. You must have attained all these skills. So when it comes to ICT, we are looking at the construct is that a learner appreciates and uses basic ICTs to solve societal problems. So here you are seeing the word basic. During the marking of last year's candidates in O level, it was found out that really the learners cannot bring all the ICTs, but at least the basic ones. So that's why I've put this one in red. A learner appreciates and uses basic ICTs to solve societal problems. I think that one is clear. You can note it down as something to note in this session: basic ICT to solve societal problems. Going forward, the subject of ICT has basically 5 elements of construct. These 5 elements of construct: element construct 1, where a learner appreciates and manages computer system. This one is tested in ICT Paper 1, and it comes in section A. It is a compulsory element of construct. Element of construct 2 comes in Paper 1, section B, part 1. It has 2 questions. You are supposed to answer at least 1 from section B, part 1. Section B, part 2 of paper 1 has 2 questions, and they are set from element of construct 3, where we are saying that a learner accesses, stores, and shares information using ICTs. So here you are also supposed to attempt 1 item. In total, 3 items of paper 1 O level ICT. When it comes to paper 2, it has 2 items. The 2 items are taken from the 2 elements of construct. That is from the first element of construct, which forms the first item, where the learner manipulates data using different application programs. That item is 1. Then item 2, from the 5th element of construct, where the learner uses publishing software to produce and publish publications and websites. So element of construct 5 forms item 2 of paper 2. So in here, a learner is supposed to produce a publication, call it an offline document. Or another question is set for you to produce an online platform where you are going to use web authoring softwares to design websites. Or Another item, still on item 2, is set for you to produce publications using Publisher or any publishing software like Microsoft Publisher. So our today's emphasis is put on element of construct 4, which forms item 1 of paper 2, where a learner is manipulating data using different application programs. Let me hope the beginning has been clear. Someone is saying that the volume is low. Is it to everyone? Type in the chat section, you tell me if I'm audible enough. You say yes, you are audible. Use the chat section so that we are at the same pace. Yes, someone says the voice is fine. All right, so please, whoever is saying that the voice is low, try to amplify the sound that side. Great. So ICT Paper 2, basis of assessment. I've already talked about them. They are from element of construct 4 and element of construct 5. That is item 1 and item 2. Thank you. Moving forward. So let's briefly now look at item 1 of paper 2. So when it comes to item 1 of paper 2, we expect you to bring these skills out because you are playing around with 4 application programs for item 1. We are going to look at those application programs and how best you apply them in a scenario. So the following skills are needed. You must use appropriate application, having understood the scenario. We need to see their data entry, that is tabulation of data. We need to see you editing data. For example, the data you have taken from the support files, you need to edit it. You need to do some formatting. We need to see that you have used relevant application tools. Is it mail merge? Is it a query? Is it a multimedia? I mean, you are applying multimedia tools in your presentation. Is it a graph? All those tools. Then representation of data, that is multimedia clips or graphical objects. And lastly, on item 1, we need to see you presenting a soft copy and a hard copy, that is a product. Now, for example, you all looked at ICT paper 1 of last year. Allow me share that paper quickly. Let me know if you are able to see that paper. You can say yes, we are able to see the shared screen. Okay, you are able to see the shared screen. So here is last year's paper, O-level paper 2. And when you get a copy, please continue to look at those instructions. More to that, item 1 was here. I may not read it as of now. I'm sure at school there you have these copies. Please go look at that paper of last year. So the task was saying that make a report that your aunt will submit to the school management for decision making. So each learner is supposed to be assessed basing on the skills that I have highlighted. So you find that whenever we are drafting what we call, whenever we are drafting a score sheet, the score sheet generally reflects, the score sheet must reflect all those. Yes, I want us to look at this screen, for example. Someone is annotating my screen. Let me first disable that. Yes. Okay. Let me know if you are able to see that screen. Are we able to see that? Say yes in the chat section. Great. Yes, I'm following up the chat section. Okay, so when you look at this score sheet, each candidate is assessed based on this score sheet. So here you find that we have the code, item 1, where you are manipulating data using different application programs. So this score sheet is provided to every examiner as they assess. So we have planning. So planning for item 1, where the learner selects the sufficient number of application programs with relevant content. Meaning that the learner must have used word processor, must have used the spreadsheet, presentation, or database. So at least a minimum of 2 applications, the learner is able to get 1 score, I mean 1 weight. Then under planning, we consider the following. Has the learner entered data? Has the learner edited data? Considering grammar, spellings, evidence of copy and paste and all that. Then, has the learner managed to format the data? Meaning that we have to look at the changes to the text appearance. Is it still the original, like the way it was provided in the support files, or it has changed? Then we need to see the learner has modified some paragraphs, like we look at the layout, are they in columns or something like that? Has the learner managed to do maybe some drop caps, etc. Have you managed to insert some shapes, images, or formatting of the shapes in the text, or formatting the worksheet itself? That is all about formatting of data. Then D, have you managed to perform some basic calculations that is on Excel data, such as sum, product, average, counting, max, mean, all that? Checking in the chat section, someone is saying I'm not audible. Is that true? Because we are still studying the score sheet. Okay, I'm audible. Please try to amplify your gadget's sound. More to that, have you managed to perform advanced calculations such as if, sum if, rank, count if, average if, etc., or even doing some calculations on forms, doing correct criteria in queries and calculations, or even customizing the field properties in Access? More to that, have you managed to do some importing of data, or have you managed to do some exports of data? Then part G, have you managed to use some document referencing features such as page numbering, adding headers and footers, putting titles or subtitles, putting captions on images, footnotes, endnotes, labeling your graphs very well, even putting some animations in PowerPoint and transitions if you use the PowerPoint, doing some hyperlinks, setting up slideshow, naming database objects, and renaming your worksheets. Some of you who have been following my videos on the YouTube channel KAKURU BENARD, you have seen how best we have been trying to attempt item 1 by trying to answer all these skills that have been identified from from part A up to part G. So for a learner who has managed to do from part A up to part F, we say this learner has provided more than sufficient. So if you have provided more than sufficient, at least you get 5 weights. That is MP. So for MP, we are saying manipulation of data. So here you are manipulating item 1. If a learner managed to at least present skills while manipulating data, skills from A up to D, that learner at least gets a 4. Those are sufficient 4 weights. When it comes to the product of item 1, if the learner manage to generate any two appropriate products in both forms of the output form, you get 3 weights on the products. Those 3 weights, if the learner managed to list the learners with average 70 and above as per the scenario and the task. That's why I said you can get time, look at that task and make sure it is in line with this score sheet. Item 2, if you have managed to present the 2 learners on the HM's list of the frame, you are also in that line of 3 weights. And 3, a graph for average score of the 2 on the list frame. So here you get your 3 weights. Then product and another product, because that was product 2. Then another product, if the learner just generates an appropriate product, any, you find that the learner has only generated the list of learners with average 70 and above, you just get 1 weight. Or you manage to bring out a graph for learners with average score of 2 on the list of the frame. So you just get 1 weight. Total 9 weights. That was for item 1. Today, we are basically looking at item 1. I'm not going to look at item 2. Item 2 will be for the next session. So that is the standard score sheet, how item 1, these skills are presented on the score sheet. If there are questions, please raise your hand so that I can give you a chance to unmute and talk to me. Raise your hand. I'm looking at the chat section and the participant section. If you have any question, please raise your hand, then you unmute and talk to me. If no hand raised, I can continue. Can you give me a go ahead in the chat section? Yes, I see a hand from my friend Claudia. Yes, can talk to me.
Good afternoon, members. Good afternoon, Bernard. Thank you so far. For me, it's still not sure if a candidate is using maybe only Word and Excel. Then all these other like 2, 3, 4, it just multiplies one scoring criteria for the 2. If he uses all applications, database, and maybe even PowerPoint and Word and Excel, then it multiplies by 4. Because
no,
it says feature.
Yeah, here, you are not getting it well, but at least we are saying that if the learner managed to use at least more than 1 application, so minimum is 2. That's when you qualify for that 1 mark for the weight. Minimum 2 applications. So we shall continue to see how we can interact with these applications. I will be there to assist. And we have to dig more. I've prepared a presentation which has all this that we need to maybe know. I will also entertain questions towards the end. Let me allow one person to talk to me and we proceed. Paul, you can talk to me.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation, dear brother. Actually, for me, you said it should be 2 or more than. A case in point, a learner is a 3 out of 4, maybe has not put maybe database. It means in the evaluation, read there down, it means the marks for database, this person will not get any score. So I don't know how. If I told maybe someone is a 3 and has not used all the 4, how are they evaluated? That is what I wanted to really understand. Thank you.
We have looked at this. We have looked at this score sheet, okay? And when you look at A to F here, we are saying A to F, these are more sufficient. They are more than sufficient because this learner must have at least integrated at least a minimum of 2 applications. You score 5. Wait. So let's continue to interact. So we need to understand this score sheet very well and see how best we can integrate all these applications. Okay, moving forward. So while a learner is attempting item 1, we are saying you are addressing the element of construct 5 on the test framework, and item 1, you are manipulating data using different application programs. And these are the following programs. Word processing 1, where the learner uses a word processing software interface. You are using a word processing software to create, format, edit, and print documents. Having studied word processing 1, we expect you to have also interacted with advanced tools of word processing. So that is advanced processing, meaning topic 4 and topic 9. Then topic 5, where we look at spreadsheet 1, where the learner uses spreadsheet functions to manipulate data and print it. More to that, the learner must have used charts to represent data. More to that, the learner must have interacted with the advanced features, the advanced tools of spreadsheet. That is in topic 10, spreadsheets 2. Then presentation. That is now the third program. Here, a learner uses the presentation application functions and tools to prepare an interactive presentation. So please mind about that word, interactive presentation. It doesn't have to be just text. It must be really interactive presentation, meaning that innovation is needed there to produce at least a multimedia presentation. More to that, if the learner managed to present a presentation to the audience. So here in topic 6, let the learners do their best. Then lastly, topic 12, database management system, where the learner uses tools and interfaces of, tools and features of a database management software to manipulate data, tables, queries, forms, reports, at least one of them. You may not need to do more than 3 queries, more than 2 forms, at least one feature on those tools. Let's go forward. This one, I may not dwell much on it. Get the question paper for last year at least. You will find the same setting format, the same on the instructions and all that. Okay. In case you have a question, you raise a hand or you type in the chat section. I'm very keen. I'm looking at my boss gadgets to see what is in the chat section, who has raised the hand. So now, candidates, you need to do thorough planning when you are going to do a practical paper. Today we are dwelling much on item 1, but at least planning is key. So when you receive your question paper, please take 10 minutes interpreting the questions, those scenarios, and choosing the right application to use. If it is item 1, you have read the scenario, there is there is task, then you have gone through the task, you go and open the support files, study them. After studying the support files, come back, read through the scenario again and the task. From there, these ones will give you what are the minimum 2 applications I can use. And if you are that excellent learner, you will add the 3rd application. Then at least take 60 minutes while attempting and approaching item 1 so that you satisfy it. Critical thinking is very key because these are high order thinking questions. These are high order thinking questions, so critical thinking is very key. You need to analyze the item very well, analyze the scenario very well, and take time while approaching it. 60 minutes maximum for item 1, 60 minutes maximum for item 2. Then take 10 minutes in printing your work on A4 papers so that the PD, which we call the product, is there. Planning work on your CDs or DVDs to produce a soft copy PD. PD stands for product. So as we said, from our score sheet, we have PN, planning, then we have manipulating data, and then we have the product. So those ones are very key because you must give a product. It is evidence that you have sat in the ICT paper and given us all the skills there. Okay. Now, to the teachers who are here, while you are scoring your learners on these items, both item 1 and item 2, you need to follow this rubric. Make sure you take care of the planning of the learner. That's why we said PN. Ensure that the learner has selected the most appropriate user application programs like web page, authoring software if he's attempting item 2, or basic office user applications for item 1. That is to do with Word, spreadsheets, Excel, and database, only for item 1. Then if the learner has used the non-web authoring software for item 2, you can give a 1 or a 0 or none. So here, please make sure you take care of planning of the learner's work. Someone is saying, can I ask about websites? No, please. Today we are looking at item 1 only because we are here for like 1.5 hours only exploring item 1 fully. Item 2 will come in the next session, please. Okay, then when you go to the process where we looked at manipulating data, MP, consider the following: data entry. Make sure that the learner has included relevant details of the data, such as event name, date and time, location, contact information, etc. Make sure that the learner's work is visually appealing and creativity is there. Follow the layout principles, typography, the font and all that. Make sure if you are maybe marking item 2, the pages have titles, you have active links and forms. Make sure you take care of font and background colors, the contrast, use of relevant images across the work. Then look at dimensions. If it is publisher, those dimensions are well spelled. Consistent styling all through. If the learner is designing the web pages, let there be consistent styling all through. And finally, the PD, the product. So you take care of the product for the learner. The product is given 3 weights. The product is given 3 weights, as seen in the previous score sheet. Okay, so I want us to dive into the sample item. I remember I shared the sample items on your emails. For all those who registered, you have the sample items that we are supposed to go through today. I shared with you these sample items. So when you look at this sample item, this is how it looked like. Someone can unmute and take us through this scenario by reading it. Raise your hand and unmute. Raise your hand, then I will unmute you. You read for us the scenario. Okay. Wow, the hands are many. I'm going to pick someone who hasn't spoken so far. Paul, I'm not going to allow your hand. There is 2025 ICT class. Someone can represent that class and read. Unmute 2025 ICT class. Someone can represent you. If someone is near the microphone, take it on. Please. Yes.
The Youth Development Association brought.
So there is some noise in the background. Let me allow Asimwe Deus unmute. Deus, if you are near your gadget, please unmute. Yes. Deus, are you ready? Let me take on Walter.
Yes.
Take it on.
A youth development association, Bright Future Youth Camp, was established to provide financial literacy and small business funding to young entrepreneurs. The group treasurer currently records members' contributions and loan disbursements manually. However, as membership grows, it has become difficult to efficiently manage records, leading to delays in generating financial reports and inconsistencies in loan repayment tracking. A new member suggested that automating the system for better financial record management, the Treasury has extracted the records into the file called BFY Group Records, and the loan provider template is available in Loan Alert. Using the support files provided, create the electronic version for the records and use it to produce a visual summary of members' savings and loans disbursements. Then number B, generate a list of members with outstanding loan balances and prepare a personalized loan reminder for each member.
Okay, thank you. Whoever has a question, please put it in the chat section. I'm seeing there, someone says I have a question. Please ask directly so that we are not wasting much time. So here, as you are reading through the scenario, make sure you understand the key players in the scenario. And then also, as you read these support files, make sure you understand the file extension provided. Okay, the file extensions are very key. Then more to that, after reading through this, you can go to your folder, go to the support files provided, item 1 support files. So you find that in the item 1 support files, let me extract them here. Okay, so item 1 support files for item 1, this one, they said they have provided us with BFY group records.xlsx. That is a Microsoft Excel sheet. We can open it and have a look at it. This is the sheet. Hopefully you are able to see that. Clear? In the chat section, a yes can work for me. Someone is saying recording to help those who have not joined. Please, the session is live on YouTube and it is going on just now. So just go on YouTube, search for KAKURU BENARD. The recording is there the way it is going on right now, live. That was the BFY group records.xlsx. Then we also have this BFYG logo.png. This one is a logo for their savings group. More to that, we have a loan alert.docx.docs. So this is their loan alert document. Now, having seen the support files, there is Excel, there is also a Word document. Now you go back to your scenario. You go back to your scenario, you read through it again, and then the tasks. So Having seen task AB, from your suggestions, what do you think are the appropriate applications that we can apply for this scenario? Remember, we said item 1, we must use a minimum 2 applications or more, but maximum there are 4, from word processing, spreadsheets, presentation, and database. So according to you, I'm going to allow someone to unmute. You tell us your view about this scenario, about this item, because it was shared to you at least a week to this presentation. So you can tell us the application you would choose to use and why are you going to use them. Yes, I'm going to accept Lynette first. Talk to us. Lynette, the microphone is there.
Yes, Mr. Bernard.
Yes, talk to us. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I would imagine, or I would propose that we would use Microsoft Excel to compute the records, and also use Microsoft Word with the feature of mail merging to compute a list of those members who have got the loan balances.
Okay.
I submit a reminder letter.
Okay, thank you. So for you, you would use only 2 applications. Thank you. Paul, you can unmute.
Yes, thank you very much. Part A, create an electronic version of the records and use it to produce a visual summary of members, saving, and loan disbursements. For me, I would use Microsoft Excel automatically for calculations, specifically for loan balances. Then I use Microsoft Office Word, ensure that I give out reminders using mail match. Then I would also use presentation, because a case in point, a youth development association, Bright Future, was established to provide financial literacy and small business funding to young entrepreneurs. So which means I must try my level best to educate the young entrepreneurs, because they need to be provided with financial literacy and small business funding, maybe how to do that. It would, which helps maybe in mentorship, growth, and others. And lastly, I would also use database, because for any record, you can relate the data, make a record, make a form, make a report about that. Me, I would use 4. Thank you so much.
Great. Oh, yes. All the 4 applications, applying them is not bad. Yes, but to a candidate now who has only 1 hour on item 1 to do all the 4 applications. Yes, doing 4 applications, you are an extraordinary excellent learner. Okay, let me hear from Odok. Please unmute and talk to us.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good
Could you
afternoon.
hear me? Could you hear me?
I'm hearing you. Please go ahead.
Yes, according to me, what we could use, one is we can use Microsoft spreadsheet. That helps in the calculations. Then the second one is Microsoft Word, which help in the creating of letters to remind the clients. And then the last one, I can use a database to prepare the report. I think that's what I can use.
Okay, thank you. Can I have 1 or 2 candidates, please? 1 or 2 candidates, 1 or 2 candidates talking to me. 1 or 2 candidates. A candidate, please raise your hand. I need to hear from you. Candidates, it is coming, it is coming. Don't only use the chat section. I want a candidate raising up a hand and putting out the views. 2025 ICT class, you had echo. I don't know if you have sorted it. Some members are raising their hand in the chat section. That one may not help me well. Please raise the hand under participant section. Yes, Grace, unmute. Grace, if you are near your gadget, please talk to us. You are allowed to unmute. Okay, ICT class. One person to represent you. Yes.
I would use database, Excel, Word, and presentation to do my work.
Why are you using all the four? Give me reasons why you would apply Word, why you would apply Excel, why you would apply PowerPoint and database. Give me the reasons quickly, or how you are going to apply them.
Okay, I would use Word, Excel, and presentation majorly because when forming there the logo and many other things in the scenario maybe use it. Okay, we may use these ones to answer those questions. Okay.
Yes, I think we need the reasons why we are in this session today. Stephen Gobi, unmute.
Thank you very much.
Your name and class.
Now my submission is...
Your name and class?
I'm not a student.
I wanted a candidate at least.
A candidate.
Yes. I want to hear their views. All Saints Kit Vocational School, a member to represent you. Take on the microphone.
Yes, I would use
name and class.
I'm called Very Gifty, senior 4.
Okay, tell me.
I would use Microsoft Excel for calculation and add for comment, for reminding. Thank you.
Let me hear from Asimodeus.
I would use Excel in order to compute the run balances and Word to generate through mail merging.
Okay. Oh, do you have a student? He's going to talk to us.
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
My name is called Sessions Paul, and I'm a student of ICT.
Which class?
I'm in senior 4.
Okay, talk to us.
I would use Excel in order to balance the loans and to make the total sum of the items used on the farm and the rest. And I will use another program, Microsoft PowerPoint, because in the support file, there was a logo which requested us to do some presentation to the people in the village or to educate the people around there so that they can know more about ICT. Lastly, I would use Word to make a report because this can help me to organize my information and which will be necessary for the loans officers and the rest.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you. Let me hear from, is it Dembe Brian? Brian, unmute. From there, I will entertain Eric, Stephen. Brian, unmute. If you're not near, Eric takes on. Eric. Tukamwesiga Fred.
I'm unmuted.
Eric.
I would use the Word to put in the main merge feature for making the reports for those people, and then use presentation to educate the people in my area about the group records and remind them of their loans, and also use the database to make calculations.
Okay, lastly, let me hear from Stephen. Kamwesiga, Fred.
I would use, my name is Arena Joseph, and I'm from Standard High School. I'm senior 4. For me, for this question, I would use Word and insert in the mail merge feature using the spreadsheet, that table, and then make up the documents reminding about the people, because you see when you check the support files, you see the things you're supposed to fill in there in the other tables in the spreadsheet. Then I also use spreadsheet to make the calculations. I go ahead to the presentation and make some publication to the people in my area, educating them about reminding them about their loans and the records of the BFY group. That's all I had.
Okay, thank you and greetings to your colleagues. So, after seeing this item, I'm now going to present I think the hands are done for now. I will invite you later. Thank you. You can use the chat section. Okay, so when you look at this item, and I've also prepared its score sheet. This is the score sheet for this item, following the same standard. So here we are saying in planning, we have to select sufficient number of application programs with relevant content. Still, I consider the 4 applications. It depends on how you have presented them. But then when it comes to the criteria below, we shall know which applications I was supposed to use. So if you have used a minimum of 2 applications, you get your 1 weight. Then, if the learner enters data or saves members' financial records correctly in an electronic format. So an electronic format can be Excel, can be database. Saves financial records. Because these records, we may not do much calculations in Microsoft Word, for example. Some of the calculations. More to that, if the learner managed to edit the data, here we are going to ensure accuracy in spellings, grammar, formatting, and correctness of the financial records. Then C, formats the data. For example, we have seen there is a loan alert document, meaning that we need to see someone who has done some changes to that text appearance, modifying the paragraph layout, inserting some shapes or images because we have seen a logo in the folder, appropriately format shapes, images in the text, then formatting the worksheet, meaning that there is Excel. Then, more to that, a moment. More to that, we look at applying correct formatting, financial tables, giving charts, and the loan reminders. More to that, part D, if the learner has performed basic calculations by use of functions like sum, average, count to analyze savings and loan records. Part E, if we have performed advanced calculations where you have used functions like if, count if, sum if, or you have created queries for loan balances and loan repayments, meaning that access here is a must to use. More to that, if you have managed to filter and sorting records to generate a list of members with outstanding loan balances. So you see, from the beginning, I gave you the platform to talk about all the applications you can apply. But also at the back of your mind, you need to know that the item setter also has some boundaries, which applications you should use and those you should discard. I don't know if that is very clear. So you may use all of them, but then are they all relevant? So something like that. Part F, if the learner managed to import or export data. Under importing, if the learner managed to import data from Access to Word, or you have managed to import data from Excel into Access to avoid the retyping, so that you generate personalized loan reminders and all that. Part G, if you have used document referencing features while you are formatting and editing your loan alert document by putting maybe page numbers, you have put headers and footers, then there are page titles, maybe it can be a reference, a subject, then you put some captions where it is necessary, footnotes where you feel it is necessary. So some of these document referencing features should appear in your work. More to that, naming database objects. If you have done queries, name them very well so that they bring out the reasons why you formed them, or even renaming the worksheets. So here, it means that in your manipulating data, because all this was under planning, we consider planning. So under manipulation of data, if you managed to do from A to F, these are the main ones we consider. A to F, at least we say you have given us more than 5 sufficient. Then from there, if the learner managed to do from A to D, this is what the learner managed to do. The learner did not go to perform advanced calculations. The learner cannot do importing, exporting. So at least we say those are sufficient at that level for weights. Then the product, for a learner to get 3 weights for the product, at least we expect all these 3. List of members with outstanding balances, where you have used the query to output them. Graphical summary of the financial records in Excel, because the task was saying a graphical summary. Then finally, personalized loan reminders by using mail merge in Word, 3 weights. So if a learner has generated one of those, maybe sort mail merge was the main thing and is among the product, 1 weight. So total 9. So these 9 weights are later converted to 30, 50, like that. So for now, are there questions? Someone is asking me importance of count if. Wow. So for now, yeah, some of the questions in the chat section, they are, I think I have answered them in this score sheet. Let me first now go to the presentation, then later we can see how best we can apply whatever is in the score sheet. Someone has raised the hand, that is Omia Stephen Eric. Eric, talk to us. Eric?
I would like to thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Yes.
I would like to ask, I'm from Impact High School, Lugazi, ICT Street.
Which class?
Senior 4 candidate.
Yes, talk to me.
Yes, I would like to ask you, Mr. KAKURU, how could how could properly use the Excel or Google.
Come again. You are getting off your microphone. Be near. I want to hear you clearly.
I was asking which application is best when making a logo.
Please, I would wish some of those questions to be in the chat section if they are not directly relevant to what we are covering as of now. But the best application to design logos, simple logos. You can even use PowerPoint for simple logos while in an exam. You can use Publisher for simple logos while in an exam, but standard logos, we use Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. Okay? Yes. Okay. There is someone with a question. ICT class 2025. Let's ask quickly and we proceed. ICT class. Then later we go to Darius, to SJ.
I have a question. Now, what if I attempt A, B, and D without doing A, B, C, and D? How many weights can I be awarded?
You are likely to be given between 1 and 2.
Oh.
Yes. 1 and 2. Yes. Let me hear from TSJ. Unmute. Then from there, I would like to hear from Patrick Mwanda. TSJ. Shoot.
Mr. KAKURU Bernard.
Yes.
I was asking a question. I need to know the formula of finding out the if and the if count.
We are going to see them. Please don't leave the session before it ends.
Okay, thank you.
Patrick. Then Fred, lastly.
If it comes that I use one application for item 1, how many weights am I likely to get?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if a learner uses an application that is not required, because we have realized that the learner is supposed to use 4 applications, but you may find that an item, the
Patrick, I've gotten your question, though your network is disturbing you, but generally, Patrick, I've gotten your question. The network is disturbing you, but I've said if we use an application that is not relevant to the task, we still follow the score sheet. That's why the score sheet is there. Okay.
It is irrelevant.
Okay, so let's now continue with our session. Let's continue with our session. So before we look at is my screen still clear? Are you able to see my screen in the chat section? Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so briefly, why do candidates fail item 1? So I want us to let's first look at these reasons. Then from there, I take you through how best item 1 is supposed to be approached. So someone can unmute and talk to me. Here are some of the reasons one can read through. I don't want to talk alone, yet we are over 100 people here. Someone can raise a hand and I allow you to unmute. Yes, Paul.
Yes, thank you so much. Why do candidates fail? That is cyberphobia, fear of computers. This is where learners actually, when they are tampering with the gadgets, case in point, the mouse, they tend to move anyhow, and sometimes they fear and they click wrong things. Then slow typing speed, and they don't complete the given content in time. This is where learners go ahead to, when they fear by their computers, they also tend to take a lot of time when they are typing because they are not familiar with computers. So ICT teachers should try their level best to teach their learners using the typesetting softwares, among others.
I request you read what is there, then the rest we shall see solutions as we move forward.
Okay. Bullet number 3, using long applications to do tasks required of a particular application, misinterpreting the task and missing key instructions, weak spreadsheet skills, that is Microsoft Excel. Then you can move the screen.
Okay.
Try to move down.
Is that clear?
Not yet.
Okay, I think the captions are the ones denying you from that. Let me first disable the captions. Of course, I had put this session even for those who are not able to hear. They are able to read what is going on the session because I turned on the transcript. But here, the last one is poor database management. Okay, so you find that some learners don't know how to manage Microsoft Access. Then more to that, we have weak word processing and report processing skills, that is Microsoft Word, lack of attention to detail in formatting and presentation. So you find that we give sketchy work, then lack of practical exposure. So this year, the ICT teachers who have joined this session, the learners who are here, please do as much practice as you can. Explore those applications to your best. Then poor logical flow and integration between applications. So there are reasons why you are using more than one application. Then lack of multi-application skills. Many candidates are comfortable with one application. You had some questions, someone was saying, what if I use only one application? How many scores or how many weights can I get? Remember, we are saying the element of construct, the learner uses more than. We are saying the learner manipulates data using different application programs. We are not saying that the learner manipulates data using one application program. Please take that as serious. Are we together? Take that as serious. Lack of multi-application skills. Many candidates are comfortable with one application program, e.g. Excel. They want to do everything in Excel, but struggle when required to integrate multiple programs. Please, lack of practical exposure. More to that, weak understanding of weak understanding of application-specific features. Many candidates lack a deep understanding of how each application program works and how to use them together efficiently. Then, due to several challenges related to technical skills, logical reasoning, what we said, critical thinking, and time management. That's why learners are failing item 1. Also, failure to produce both soft and hard copies. These are some of the reasons why candidates are failing item 1. More to that, because even when the exams were released, many teachers were asking what happened to us, what etc. Because there are many reasons behind that. So, poor selection and integration of applications, especially in planning. So some candidates are failing to use at least 2 applications. Some candidates may only work with Excel and ignore Word or Access or PowerPoint, leading to lost marks. Then using incorrect applications, for example, using PowerPoint instead of Access when database queries are required. So if you use a different application, it means that you are off the score sheet. We only take that one that is required. Not integrating data between applications. So you find that some candidates might create documents separately instead of linking them together. For example, not using mail merge in a Word document with data from Access. That one is also there. More to that, there are common mistakes in each program, and I want us to begin with spreadsheet. You find that using spreadsheets or Google Sheets, you are failing to use basic and advanced formulas. We have been seeing them in the score sheet. Sum, average, if, VLOOKUP, count if, etc. Then, incorrect use of cell references, relative and absolute. Inability to create and format charts or graphs appropriately. Then some candidates, they lack knowledge on sorting and filtering data to identify the key information as per the task and the scenario. How about when it comes to Microsoft Word or Google Docs? Some candidates are not structuring reports correctly. You find they are missing headings, bullet points are not there, page numbers are not there, you have not captioned your images. You are failing to insert and format tables and charts. Maybe charts are from Excel and you are supposed to paste them into Microsoft Word so that your report is complete, or even getting some query tables and put them in your report. Then poor formatting, alignment of your text, spacing, bolding, font choices. You find that your product is not yet to a graduate. Because we say at Senior 4, we have a graduate. And we started with a graduate profile, you remember. So we need you to show us that you have really studied computer studies. It is ICT, but it is computer studies, computer science. So let's put all those skills together. How about PowerPoint? You find someone has not created concise slides. There is too much text instead of key points. Then lack of visual elements and multimedia elements, no charts, etc. Poor slide transitions and animations. Then when it comes to database, not setting primary keys in tables, entering data incorrectly, or failing to import data from Excel, unable to create and run queries. Someone is asked to filter customers who purchased above 500,000, they don't know criteria. Also failing to generate some reports from database queries. Yes, in the chat section, yes, what is the best period of time to do paper 2 so that you can finish? We started with planning. We said at least 60 minutes on item 1, 60 minutes, item 2. Those are 2 hours. You are remaining with 30 minutes. How do you use 30 minutes? 10 minutes, reading the scenarios very well and the task and identifying which applications to use. 10 minutes, printing. 10 minutes, burning your work on CDs, like that. So that is the clear planning. Someone is saying, is it a must use a primary key? Yes, a primary key is a unique record identifier in each table. So put a primary key in your tables. Then poor logical flow and integration between applications. So candidates struggle with using multiple applications together, e.g., extracting data from Word and inserting charts into Excel, importing data from Excel into Access, creating a summary PowerPoint presentation based on a Word report. Because whatever I'm talking about here, I even sent you 2 items. Item 1, we said we are applying Word, Excel, and database. Then where I said item 1 alternative, that item 1 alternative requires Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. That was the instance of sending you 2 items, item 1 and item 1 alternative with their support files. Then you try to treat each applications as separate instead of seeing them as connected tools. That's why we are saying a learner manipulates data using different application programs. So I want you to see them as connected tools. You are answering a scenario. You are responding to that item. So make sure you solve that societal problem, that company problem, by helping them, not using one application to solve their needs. It is not easy with one application. So, general tips on how to handle. We need to practice using multiple applications together: Excel, Access, Word, PowerPoint. You need to master Excel formulas, conditional formatting, sorting, and graphs. You need to learn Access basics, tables, queries, forms, and reports. Use proper formatting in Word. We need to know the structured reports. How are standard reports written? Tables and graphs in your reports. In the chat section, how do you import from Access to Word? That one is called exporting Access to Word, or even when you are using a database query to mail merge. Okay. More to that, we need to practice using all the 4 applications, as I have said. Then we need to master essential formulas and queries: sum, average, if, VLOOKUP, and many more, and how to deal with different queries. Understand formatting and logical data presentation for charts, tables, and page layouts. Improve time management. Start with Excel, move to Word, move to database and PowerPoint, something like that. Let these programs be connected. Then above all, read instructions carefully before starting to avoid mistakes. Planning is very key. I will move from Excel. From Excel, I go to database. From database, finally, I generate a letter by mail merging, something like that. Then we need to understand the task and required applications before starting. Carefully read the task, instructions to determine which applications are required. Plan the workflow before starting. Decide where to enter data, where to process it, and how you regenerate the products. Manage time effectively. We have said 60 minutes, item 1 in total. So you can say, I'm allocating 15 to 20 minutes on answering Excel, 15 to 20 minutes on answering database, 15 to 20 minutes on answering Word. Those are 3 applications. In total, you should be between 55 to 60 minutes. That is item 1. So, it is from this area that I want us to interact on how best we would approach item 1. From our, let me share my screen. In case there are questions, please put them in the chat section, or you raise a hand, I will give you the platform. Yes, Fred, unmute.
Thank you, sir. Minimally, you said, are you a learner is supposed to use 4?
Be near your microphone. Be near your microphone.
You said the learner is supposed to use at least 4 two to four programs on each on item 1. So my question was, how many features?
You are going off your microphone. Please be near your microphone. I can't hear you well.
How many features am I supposed to use for each program, minimally?
The features are only dependent with your skills and exposure to that application program. We don't dictate, because this is a competence-based curriculum. We don't dictate. Are we together?
Okay. Yes, sir. Thanks for your time, sir.
Most welcome. Another one. There is Stephen. Talk to us. Stephen?
Yes.
Be near your microphone and talk to us.
My question is that when I've maybe misunderstood the question or I failed to get the correct application used for that question, can I, based on the support files, to maybe to choose the best application to use? That is my question.
An exam is an exam, and the way you approach it determines your final score. So the best approach, we are saying, let's do enough practical exposure. We have said minimum 2 applications. Yes, ICT class, someone has a question, and later we'll go to Grace.
Question.
Go on.
Okay, many manipulations that I can do in Excel. Help me on that.
Come again?
More manipulations in Microsoft Excel.
We have said that in Excel, when you go to Excel, you have entered data or you have imported it from Microsoft Word. That is the first step. Then after, make it a table, apply those borders. Do some functions, sum, average, count if, okay? Then make sure there are headers and footers on your Excel. Make sure while printing the work is not overflowing. Put it in a landscape. If not, make sure the work fits on one page. Then a graph is a must when you do Excel, because we need visual presentation and much more. Okay, so we go back to our item. More questions? Okay, Grace, take it on.
For me, I want to ask, how do you know that in database? How do you know that in database? For me, I want to ask that, how do you know that in database you are required to put their queries and everything? And can you put everything that, like sum if, count if, in Microsoft Excel?
You don't put everything. I've said it depends on the task. If the task is saying, for example, generate a list of loan reminders, and I mean generate a list with those who have outstanding loan balances and generate loan reminders, meaning that I will create a query. I filter out those with loan reminders. Then I will use that list to do mail merge. So in my access, if we have been interacting with database, at least the table is a must. It is a primary feature. It is a primary database object, a table. From a table, you can do a query. You can do a report of those people who have outstanding loan balances. You can do a query of those people with outstanding balances, something like that, and a form, depending on the task. Paul, you have a learner with a question?
Yes, I have a learner with a question. Maybe let him ask.
On code call sessions, and the question I have is that in the PowerPoint, you have told and you put some changes there, but I think it is not good to put more changes while you're making presentation, because it will look funny when people are viewing that presentation. May I be add on, please?
Yes, I'm going to advise you there. Dan and then lastly Nasuna. Dan, microphone is on your side. But I can't hear you. Let me hear from Nasuna. Nasuna, microphone to your side.
So, when we answering item 1 only, are we supposed to focus about only the 3 applications of Excel, Access, Word, and PowerPoint? Can they set coding or website design?
Did you begin with us from the start?
Not really.
I think you will watch from the beginning. Go on YouTube, watch from the beginning. I'm sorry, I'm not answering that. We have a school from Biguli, SS. A member can represent.
My name is Ariho Jordan here from Vigori Secondary. My question is it good to use any type of animations in accordance to my exposure? For example, drop.
Yes, please. While you are attempting these questions, there are no instructions telling you that apply drop as the animation or as the transition. You do according to what you feel is good for you. But then also make sure that it is in accordance. Like when someone is looking at your work, it is visual appealing. Try to accommodate the audience that will be looking at your work. Okay? But do what you feel is the best skill within you. Bring out the best skill in you while answering these papers. So let's now continue with our scenario. I'm sharing the screen. Someone is asking, how do we use support files? Okay. So coming back to our item, we were asked that using the support files provided, create an electronic version of the records and use it to produce a visual summary of members saving and loan disbursements. So it means that with this, you are supposed to create a folder on the desktop. You are supposed to create a folder on the desktop. Hopefully my desktop is clear. Are we able to see my desktop? Yes, here. A candidate is supposed to create a folder. For example, Agava Tom 034. I create it like that. I open it. So here in this folder, it's where I'm going to put everything that I have been asked. So my support files are here. My support files are here. I have for item 1, they are here. So I open item 1, for example. I highlight them, I copy. After copying them, I go to my working folder. I create a subfolder. I call it item 1. I open it and paste what I copied. After pasting, now this means that the support files are there in their original form. Now I have a copy in my working folder. Hopefully that is clear. So from there, I open the BFY group records.xls. Now here, I look at the records. What do I do with Excel, for example? So quickly, I want us to look at what can we do. So I'm trying to maximize, to expand the column widths by double-clicking in the borders between one column and the other. I've done that. So after doing that, make it a table highlight. You can make it a table from here on the home tab. Just click there and put all borders. As simple as that. Then from there, copy this table. You can copy the whole worksheet. Control A, Control C, create a new sheet here. Paste, Control V. After pasting here, now, they said here, we are doing some calculations, electronic version, and use it to create a visual summary of members' savings and loan disbursements. So it is from this area that we are now going to calculate loan balance, loan repayment, and all that. So here, for example, how do we calculate loan balance? In the chat section, someone can guide me in the chat section. Create for me, I mean how to calculate for loan balance. Type in the chat section, or if you want, raise a hand and tell us how do we calculate loan balance from this data. Have people left the meeting? Hello, are we there? No one is even sending an emoji in the chat section, whether laughing or anything. Okay, there is a hand from Grace. Yes, microphone is yours. Talk to me.
My name is Akando Aran from Chai School. To get the balance, you get.
You are breaking. Someone is breaking, and we may take longer. Jarius, unmute. Jarius, talk to me. Okay, fine, let's proceed. So when it comes to loan balance, at least, we need to get loan amount, equal signs. We get loan amount minus total payments made so far. If that is the correct thing, can you say yes in the chat section? Someone says yes. Okay. So here we press enter. So we click in the answer and autofill to get the other answers. We save changes. How do we calculate loan repayment percentage? Loan repayment percentage. Loan repayment percentage, can put in the chat section. So basically, loan repayment percentage, we get the total payment. Total payments, we divide them by loan amount, we multiply by 100 to get a percentage. So equal signs, we get the total payments, we divide them by the loan amount. So here we can put this in brackets. Then we multiply it by 100. From there, we get the loan repayment percentage. Is that the right formula? Okay, someone is guiding me in the chat section. Thank you, Cloud. So here, we press enter. This one completed because the loan balance is 0. So we autofill to get the rest. We save changes. What else can we do with this data? Someone who has been interacting with Excel very well can put UGX symbol, for example, to total savings here, loan amount, loan balance, and even the total payments. So I go there, I can right click, format cells. From there, from the number tab, go to currency, symbol, I look for UGX on the keyboard, select it. I don't want any decimal places, I click OK. For example, that is a skill. What else can I do? For example, given this kind of data, I can highlight those who have fully paid, and maybe I highlight them with green For example, I can see this one, fully paid, this one, fully paid, this one, fully paid. Remember here, there are no instructions telling you on what to do. You are the one directing yourself. So from here, I can, for example, make them green. That is my color. Those with balances, for example, I can give them a certain color. I give them a certain color. For example, I can highlight them. Maybe I give them such kind of color. More to that, what else can we do? We create a visual summary. How do you create visual summaries? One candidate can do a bar graph. I can select names and, for example, loan amount, and maybe the savings. So all these three. From that, one candidate can create a bar graph. Go to insert. From here, go there, bar graph. You generate such kind of a bar graph. You are working in an exam, you have seen your neighbor has generated such. I can say I'm not going to create a bar graph. For me, let me create a pie chart, for example, of names, and maybe those who have fully paid and those who haven't paid. Loan amount, I mean loan balance. I create a pie chart. So I create that kind of chart. We need a visual summary. Another one may think of creating a column chart of names and maybe the someone can say the loan repayment and the outstanding loan. I go to insert, I create a column graph, something like that. So we need any visual summary provided it is matching with the task and the scenario. So here I create my bar graph. After creating this bar graph, we can move it to a new sheet here, move chart. In the new worksheet, I can call it bar graph. Then I click OK. From here, it is better you rename because you remember we looked at titles and all that. So come here to chart layout and pick that layout that can allow you to put titles, to put X-axis, Y-axis, and all that. For example, layout, this is layout 8. With layout 8, I can put a title, a bar graph showing members' savings and loan amounts. Yes, then from there, I can go ahead and put this X-axis. These are names. Then at the bottom here, we have amount. You have finished here. That is a visual summary. Then from there, rename your sheets. We have said this is a bar graph. Then here, we can say this is the computed one. Renaming sheets, computed. Then here was savings loans as the original sheet. What else can you do? Add headers and footers on your work so that while printing, the work is bearing your details as a candidate. Go to insert, headers and footers, put your details. The header, this was Agaba, Tom. Go to footer, put your personal number, 043. Go back to header. This work has been split into these sections. Come to the bottom here and choose normal. After selecting normal, go to page layout, orientation, landscape. So you can see this line is showing that this work can fit on that page. What you have done, go to another sheet, computed, do the same. go to insert headers and footers, put your details, Agaba, Tom, go to footer, put your footer, 043, go back to header, click in your data. The work is split, click here, take it back to normal, go to page layout, orientation, landscape. When you find that this line can't fit here, go here, page orientation, page setup, you click here and choose fit to one page, paper size, A4, click OK. This work is a must to fit on one page. If you have missed that step, please rewatch the recording on video. The video is on YouTube. Rewatch that recording. That is how we put that. Then from there, put also on your graph, go to insert headers and footers, custom header, I can say 043. I click OK. Custom footer, Agaba Tom. I click OK. I click OK. So we are done with our work. Save changes and close your Excel. What next? Next, someone can think of, because after finishing that, please make sure you print your work. So far, who has a question? Raise your hand in case you have a question. Any question, raise your hand. Biguli SS. Patrick. Biguli SS is not near the microphone. Patrick. I've opened for questions. Someone is asking, how do we do mail merge? We are going to do that, please. It is part of this question because word is there. Patrick, go on. Patrick, your network was bad previously, even now. Nasuna.
Sir, after you formatting the page of Excel back to normal, I couldn't see the head and footer the way you had typed them in. Could you elaborate and go back and show us where they are?
So here, when I open the Excel sheet that we have done, when you are going to print, click File, Print. As you print, you will see your headers and footers. Type yes if you have seen them. Same applies to the bar graph. Click File, Print. You will see headers and footers there. And we are done with Excel. Any question in Excel? Someone can put it in the chat section. How did you get the percentage? Please, in case you missed something, I'm not repeating it here. Make sure you rewatch the video lesson on YouTube, because we shall take a lot of time here. Now, let's create a database. We go to create new Microsoft Access database. Remember, we are inside our item 1 folder. So this database, I can call it BFYG database. I open my database. I enable content. So from here, I'm going to do importing. Please, let's follow the steps. In case you miss a step, this recording is there on YouTube. The session is live. When I say that the session is live, when you go to the internet, go to YouTube. When you go to YouTube, search for KAKURU BENARD. Search for KAKURU BENARD. When you search for KAKURU BENARD, click this icon. You will see my name. Click that icon. When you got that icon, go to videos. When you go to videos, you will find a number of video lessons to help you. This year, for your success. Now, the session we are on now, it is in the section of live here. Live, this is the session going on. You can see our fellows, 98 people are watching right now. The session is live. So please go there, look for that recording and follow again the step you will have missed. So you click on it and you start watching that very video. Let's proceed. We are creating a database. We had created our database. Let's now import our Excel data and we do a query. We do something like that. A query, a form, and a report. We end there and do what? Create. Actually, we are supposed to import our Excel sheet. We don't need to retype. Go to external data, new data source, from file, Excel. External data, new data source, from file, Excel. Where is that Excel? The Excel I browse. It is on the desktop in a folder called Agabatom, item 1. It's called BFY Excel. After doing that, I will say OK. From there, it is telling me that that Excel file has 3 sheets: saving loans, bar graph, computed. Which one do you want? For example, let me take the saving loans, the first sheet. Select it. If you want that, you take that, which has everything computed. But I would like to show some members, how do we do a calculation in Excel? How do we do a calculation in a form? And finally, report. So let me take the one which is not calculated here. I click next. First rows contain column headings is a must select, so that these ones become headings. Next, feel free to put data types. For example, these ones, we can say that is text. We can say this is number, like that. You click next, choose my own primary key. Member ID is selected now. Click next. Then from there, I can give it that name. I can call it BFYG table. I finish. Then from there, you don't need, you can now close. So far, this is our table. We have imported it. Open this table in design view and check the data types. ID can be number, name, short text, savings, numbers is okay. You can even make them currency, loan balance, number, last repayment date. This one is supposed to be date and time. Then loan repayment number, total payments made number. A primary key is a must there. So you save changes, go back to view, datasheet view. This is our table. We can double click the column headings to ensure that the data is fitting well in the fields, or call them columns. So here is our table. Close the table. We can do a query to get those ones who have outstanding loan balances. So to do that, first of all, we can create a query. We create a query. I want to show you how to do calculations in a query. So query design or query wizard, any of those. For example, query wizard, I click OK. It's better use a query wizard and be OK. From the table, next, be fast. Remember we said 15 to 20 minutes. This one, I'm going to call it calculated. This is calculated. I can say savings calculated, something like that. Savings calculated, modify in design, I finish. So here, I'm going to do the following calculations. One, I'm going to do the other calculations we did in Excel, for example, those who don't know how to do calculations. One, we calculated the loan balance here. So with this loan balance, we can calculate it again. How do we do that? So this loan balance, click there, you can right click and go to build, or one can go to expression builder. Then from here, let's calculate this by getting, we said we used what? Total payments made minus loan amount. That is how you get the balance. We click OK. So this one, we can rename this from XPR1 to loan balance again. We click run. So here we have calculated loan balance the way we did it in Excel. Was it that right one? Let me go back to design view. Something not clear. How did we calculate our previous loan balance? It was total payments made minus. Someone to help me in the chat section. Someone is saying I'm too fast. Someone to help me in the chat section. We had said to get this, we get our, let me check in our spreadsheet how we did it quickly. Here we said how we calculated our loan balance under computed sheet. Here we had to use D2, which was loan amount minus payments. Yes, loan amount minus payment. It is the criteria we are supposed to enter here. Loan amount minus loan amount minus what has been paid. Yes, total payments. Thank you in the chat section. Yes, you are active now. Okay, so here we can put, this is loan balance. We run. Yes, here we go. Some have completed with zero balance, then others have balances. Then loan repayment percentage. How did we do that? Let's do the loan repayment percentage in builder. Loan repayment percentage, how did we calculate that? We said this one, we open brackets, we get the loan, the total payments made, we divide by, was it loan? Someone in the chat section? From there, we say total payments divided by the loan amount. We close brackets times 100. We click OK. So this is the loan repayment in percentage. So when we run, here we have our loan repayment percentage. One can even reduce these decimal places. So when you are in design view, one can choose to reduce these decimal places to make sure that they are not too many. Okay, so having done that, I want us to create a query, one query. We create a query to filter out those who have loan balances. Create query wizard, click OK. We use now this query of savings calculated. Take all fields, next. So we can say these ones are the ones who is outstanding. Say outstanding loan. So modify this and finish. So we shall go in a criteria under loan balance. We say greater to 0, meaning that whoever has a figure above 1 has a loan balance. So from here, I can run. So these are the people with loan balances. We save changes and close. Let's create a report, a form, and the report will go away from database. Create form wizard. We can create a form from our outstanding loan balance, take all fields. Next, can be columnar, can be tabular. Next, outstanding loan balance form. I finish. So this is our form. What are the simple things you can do in your form? In the form, we can do the following. Go to view, design view. I can add date and time on my form here. For example, here, date and time, include, okay. My form, I can put a background color. Right click, fill color. I put such a color. Right click, fill, choose another color. Then here, form footer, scroll down, pick a label and draw here. Put your names, Agaba, Tom, 043. That is a footer. This is for the title, date and time, something like that. I save changes for my form. I close. Lastly, a report. Create report wizard from the outstanding loan balance or from the savings calculated. Next. Next. I can group these people from those who have finished and those who still have balances. So I can choose the one of loan balance. I group them from there. Next, next, next. This is savings form. I mean savings report. In Access, I finish. So when you look at this form, it has hash hash, meaning that some values are not fitting. So let's take it to design view and adjust. Close preview. Now we adjust the following. One, the loan balance here. We can pull it behind a bit. Member ID. Make sure the heading is complete. Names, we can highlight. We can highlight names together. Here, like this. Reduce member name so that they are not too long. Total savings, we can pull it backward a bit. Then here, also pull this behind a bit. Then last payment, date, expand it a bit. Even this we can expand a bit somewhere there. We take this to the right, even this to the right. Highlight this to ensure that the word date is complete. Then repayment, make sure it is complete. Even this highlight behind like that. So what else can you put on your report? One, a footer like this. Create a footer, pick a label, draw a label, put your names, 043, personal number. You can work on the background color, etc. Or you can put a logo somewhere here. I can here insert image, browse. Where is the image? In my folder, directly here, because the database is in my folder. Double click that image, draw it somewhere there. Here you go. Save changes. Report is done. Finally, printing. I have some questions. How can you reduce decimal places? Footer and header, we have put that. Okay. How to insert header and footer, we have done that. Labels. Yes, someone wanted me to reduce the what? The decimal places. So for example, in this, here, when you look at this query, here, these decimal places, we can reduce the decimal places here. How? In design view, I will come to here loan repayment. We need to have the property sheet. We need to have the property sheet so that we can have all these well calculated. So under design, the property sheet is here. You come here, decimal places, you come here and put say to 0. You close, save changes, and run. Was it the same field? Let me go back, view, design view, loan repayment. Yes, property sheet, decimal places. Okay, let me check that. I save changes and run. Not sure why it is not coming out, but that's why we reduce the decimal places. It's the same criteria, the same formula you use. So we are done with our database. What we need to do now is printing. So open the report, you got file, print, preview. So from here, turn it to landscape and print that. From there, someone has a hand, the form, click file, print, preview. You print that. That one is okay. A hand from RAM, talk to me. RAM, Biguli SS.
You're too fast. I'm requesting you to reduce on the speed. On the criteria.
Okay, I'm going to reduce the speed. Biguli SS. Okay. So finally, printing the form, then your criteria, click file, your queries, print, print preview, go to landscape, print, okay. The table as well, click file, print, preview, landscape, print, okay. You are done with your database. Now, finally, let's create the part B, which was saying, create a list of members with outstanding loan balances and prepare personalized loan reminders to each member. So finally, we are going to do that. So here, we have loan alert file. It's here. With this loan alert file, we are going to modify it properly so that it is a standard letter. Remember, we have a database where we filtered a query with members who have loan balances. So we are going to use that data to merge it into Microsoft Word. Let's get started. So I want to make this letter properly. I can highlight all. I come here, I format, maybe Times New Roman. I come here, I can say font size that. Okay, so having changed the font, I've given it 13. So from here, we can do some other adjustments. I can make my letter better. How? Let me copy this. This one, I cut. I go to insert, header and footer, for example. I go to insert a header. So I edit header. I paste what I have cut. I highlight them, go home, center. I'm trying to fetch marks here for using a Word document. I highlight this, make it uppercase. I can increase font size somehow like that. So I've said we increase font size, something like that, centered, bordered. Then I can put like a line, shapes, insert shapes. I can draw a line somewhere here. I'm just making my letter look unique than the neighbor one. The neighbor's letter must be different from mine. I put like such kind of a line, got shape outline. I can put it maybe to red. Then I pick a logo, insert picture, this device. From my folder, from my folder on the desktop, Agabatom, item 1, this image. Having brought that image, a moment, where did my image go? Insert picture. This is our logo. Sure, it is going away. Let me first put it here, then we can put it in the header. This image of ours, we reduce it, make it smaller, make it smaller, make it smaller. So this image, I can go to wrap text. I can say maybe behind the text. I can move this logo somewhere there. Hold down Control, create another copy somewhere there. That can work as maybe a headed paper. You are making your letter look unique from your neighbor. So having done that, this I can justify. I can come here, I even make a drop cap. A few things you can work with. I make a drop cap, dropped 2 lines. I click OK. That is a drop cap. Then treasurer name, KAKURU BENARD, or your name, Zagaba, Tom, 043, something like that. Finally, let's do mail merge. Insert date here, this date, highlight that, go to insert, date and time, put today's date, update, okay. I've put date and time. Now, mail merge. How are we doing mail merge? So, mail merge. Go to mailings. If you don't know mail merge, please attention. Mailings. From mailings, select recipient, use existing list because the list is in a database. Use an existing list. The list is on the desktop. Agabatom, item 1, BFY database. Then we need loan outstanding query. Select that, click OK. And what next? To member, highlight that, insert that member, insert merge field, member, name. So here we have name. Member ID, select that, merge field, member ID. Dear member name here, select that, again put name. Total loan amount, go there, loan amount, loan balance, when you last paid, last payment date, treasurer name, this one. So from here, we are almost done. Next, preview results. So and so, we hope this message finds you well. Bring the loan balance of this. How many people are we going to send the letter? 1, 2, 3, 4. There were only 4 who had loan balances. So from here, finish and merge, edit individual documents. So you tap there and you say all of them, okay. So after finishing this, the letters are ready. There are 4 letters for those members with outstanding loan balance. If you have seen your neighbor has almost done the same, such kind of titles, for you, you can do something unique. Go to design, watermark, custom watermark, text watermark, put your names in the watermark. Agava, Tom, 043. Put a watermark in the background. Okay. So this is the watermark. If your neighbor has put the same, something related to that, go to page color and choose any color you can put in the background. Okay? Click File, Save As, Browse, Desktop, Agabatom, item 1, final letters. Final letters. Save. Okay, so we are done. This is mail merge. The 4 letters are done, and we have applied all the applications. We have used all the applications. Someone is asking for my WhatsApp number. My number is not private, please. My number is not private. I've put it in the chat section. So those are the applications that we have used. When we come back to our score sheet, these are the things we were talking about. Whatever is in the score sheet here has been worked on. So you can see even uses document referencing. We have put headers and footers, titles, you saw them. At least we have labeled the graphs. We have labeled our access objects. We have labeled, renamed our worksheets. So whatever we have talked about is here. So your neighbor can't do the same work. At least we have tried to show the skills in using the 3 applications. What if we have this item 2 briefly? Let me allow people to ask questions. Raise your hands, I unmute you, you talk to me. Raise your hands before we quickly look at item 1 alternative. Done. Done. Please, go on. Dan is not near. Ram, please don't raise your hand if you're not going to speak. Ram?
How can you mail match?
We have finished that.
We have not got the concepts.
Please rewatch the video because I've already done it. Please get the video and rewatch it. Friday? Friday, unmute. Those from Watara, unmute. Please, when you ask a question, please, and I unmute you talk. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
I just requesting that you share with us that score sheet in our emails. Maybe we get it also. Thank you.
Those who registered will get it. Yes. Those who registered, you will get it. Patrick, unmute. Please, if you are not ready, we give a chance to others. Eric? Please? Please speak loud. Speak loud. Go near the microphone. It seems we are failing to use the option for unmuting you. There is too much echo. Please use the chat section. Use the chat section for now. So let's briefly have how someone can apply PowerPoint on item 2. Someone can read through this item 2. This item 2. Someone from Biguli, read through this item 2 alternative. Item 1 alternative. Huh. No one is ready to read?
Yeah, let's read.
In Kampala, a community-focused organization.
As a woman.
In Kampala, a community-focused organization called Uganda Digital Skills Foundation has been dedicated to training Ugandans in ICT, health, and safety for past eight years. Recently, Uganda Digital Skills Foundation was invited by Ubuntu Teach Academy, a growing technical company, to conduct a 5-day ICT, LSA, and safety training for its team. This training aimed at equipping employees with best practice for a safe digital workspace, successfully covered key areas relevant to the teach industry. During the programs, each of the 10 participants from Ubuntu Teach Academy received a daily allowance of 20,000 Ugandan shillings. In recognition of health performance, certificate of excellence were awarded to the 3 most outstanding trainers. Thus, using the support files provided, prepare a report on this training program to the send of the training manager. You are required to include all relevant documentation and the summarizing of the training outcome.
You clap for her.
Okay, thank you for reading. Though as you read, you need to be very careful to make sure that you are not like the pronunciation of some words, or you need to read them very well. For example, the word is take. Take academy, not teach. Recognition, relevant. Those keywords are very key, so make sure that as you are reading them, you are keen and be attentive. So when you look at this scenario and the task, now we need to look at the support files. When you look at the support files, they have provided us with some images. Here are some images. Let me share the entire screen so that you are able to see wherever I click. This is an image in the support file. This is the other image, the other image, the other image, like that. Those are some of the images they have provided with you. Then they have also provided a video.
People come in all shapes.
They have provided you with a video. They have provided you with an Excel sheet. Here, they have also provided with the training content training content document. So, having seen that, members, what do we need to do with this application? Which tools are we supposed to use? A hand? Patrick? Paul?
Thank you very much, our dear facilitator. This being item number 1, we are supposed to use 3 of them. We are supposed to use Microsoft Office Word for the reports. Then we are supposed to use PowerPoint. Following what is in the report, you can get out some of the wording. Then you can also use, you're supposed to use Excel automatically, specifically for calculating maybe the total allowances for every person. Then with that, we filter and we get those ones who are who have the special recognition, among others. So that's what we use.
Another one in the chat section. Members are now discussing other things in the chat section, but someone has said Excel, Word, PowerPoint, great. Yes, so Excel, Word, PowerPoint, those are the key areas we need to use. I think from there, we can get started. How do we integrate these 3 applications? This is how we are going to integrate our 3 applications. So, like the way we did for item 1, that's how you do. You start by copying and pasting from the support files, and then you come up with that. So I'm going to show how this item was basically approached. Then I'm also going to share a video. I'm going to share a video for you to follow at your own pace. I'm going to share a video for you to follow at your own pace. So we can get started. Let me share my screen once again. So when you look at, first of all, in item 1, you have seen that we have a Word document. We also have an Excel sheet. So you open that Excel sheet. Is my Excel sheet visible? Say yes if it is visible in the chat section. Yes. So with this Excel sheet, we have seen that we had only total days and daily allowance. So you start by calculating the what? The total allowance, because each person was receiving 20,000 on the day attended. Begin by calculating that, get the days attended, multiplied by the allowance given. More to that, having done that calculation, put headers and footers on your work. Then we need the top 3, those who attended all the days. You can copy them and paste them on a new sheet, or you do filtering. That work also put headers and footers. From there, make a visual summary. Make a visual summary, a graph of how members attended throughout the training. Those are the things you need to do in Excel. After doing your Excel, go and do at least a training report. With the training report, based on the Word document, make an exceptional report. The report is as follows. You can start by putting the logo as seen in the document, write the heading, who are doing the headings, and who are doing the training and what was the topic, when was it conducted, and who is writing the report. From there, put an image from all the images provided. More to that, create table of contents for your work. So here is the report: introduction, training overview, financial summary. Copy that work from Excel and paste here. From there, those top 5, the outstanding, copy from Excel and paste in your report. Copy the graph and put it here, how the members participated. Give a conclusion. So these ones, highlight them, highlight, highlight, as you make them headings here. Then after, make table of contents. Make sure that in whatever you are doing, if you put a table, put a caption. If you put an image, put a caption, so that at the end of it all, you have list of figures, list of tables. These are the things you were seeing in the mark sheet, creating a standard report. Those who wish to know how this report is created, yours is when you go on YouTube. I'm showing the right video. Go search YouTube. When you go to YouTube, search for KAKURU BENARD. After searching for KAKURU BENARD, watch this video step by step how you create this report. This lesson is here. Under videos, go down, slowly. Under videos, you will see this one. I'm going to show you this one, expected responses, this very video. This very video, I copied the link. Let me send it in the chat section. I've sent you the link for that video. Follow how to answer that paper very well from the beginning to the end. From the beginning to the end. I've shared the video in the chat section. So there we are saying that this is how you create a standard report. Put a background color, put a border on page 1, put a background color, put page numbers, and make sure that your report is standing out. This is what we saw in the final score sheet. Here, use document referencing, page numbers, headers and footers, titles, captions. All those ones are very important when you are creating your reports. Then, finally, you create a presentation. You create a presentation like this. Create a PowerPoint. Call it a Gaba. Tom. Open it. Then this presentation, you are going to import from Word into PowerPoint to create the presentation slides. How do we do that? So we go to new slide. From new slide, you say slides from outline. From there, these are the training slides content. You double click or you browse them where they are in your folder, select them, then they will come here, they create for you the slides. Here are the slides created automatically. What is remaining with you is to show us that this presentation can be made better. This presentation can be made better. How? Make this presentation better by applying some animations. For example, you can see here, I had to insert an image from the support files. I had to make these headings well. I put a logo from the support files. From there, objectives. I use a proper design. I insert images from support files. You can see images are there. Images are there. Then here, they even provided the video. So you go to insert and make sure that you insert a video into your presentation. So the video is there.
People come in all shapes and sizes. So why are we?
So a video has been inserted there. Images are there. We have linked one slide to one another. So meaning that your presentation must be multimedia. When you put it slideshow, you have had sound. These are animations, sound, animations, transitions. When I click here, next slide comes. When I go here, the video plays automatically. When
people come in all shapes. People come in all shapes and sizes. So why are?
Then when I click here, it takes me back to the first slide. So this is how you should create a better presentation that will earn you good scores. Those who are asking for support files, please, those who registered support files are already on your emails for both numbers. So find support files there and attempt that number to your best. Now, that is how we are supposed to approach that item with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. The first number, we used Excel, Word, and database. So item 1 requires those 4 applications. So I'm sure when you follow whatever we have been discussing today, you are good to go. Remember to keep following me on my YouTube channel for more of such lessons. Find me on Twitter, find me on Facebook, find me on TikTok, Instagram. My phone numbers are there. Please, you are encouraged to grab a copy of these books. If you want to design good websites, grab this book, Designing Websites Using WordPress. Then, learners, you need this book, the competence-based book, ICT Mastery. It has both practical and theory. In it, I'm sure when you follow it very well, you are good to go. As assured, if you can't use WordPress, there is a book for Expression Web. Please grab copies. These books are available for grab. Talk to your school administrators. The school should stock for you these books for your guidance and continuous success. You are senior 3s, you are in senior 3, you are in senior 4. These books are a must-have for your success. Please continue following me on my YouTube channel. The platform is now open. Let me hear questions and answers from your side. Friends of Academy, unmute and talk to me. That is my phone number. You WhatsApp me and talk to me. The resources you need, approach, and all that. Yes, Friends Academy, talk to me. Friends Academy, yes.
So we've not understood the ways of the steps of importing from Word to the presentation.
Okay, I've shared a link in the chat section. Go and watch that video. I did it step by step. Do it at your time.
Which
okay?
video?
Okay.
I've showed you the video on YouTube. That video is there. The way I answered that paper very well. Not this one, but the one for that specific item.
Thank you.
Okay, how much is the book?
The books?
Yes.
Wow. This book here,
Yes.
WordPress is for 48,000.
Okay.
ICT Mastery, the one you need most, is for 48,000.
Okay.
Expression Web is for 40,000. Yes. Those in A level, this one is for 38,000. I've said this one is 48. This one is 40. Expression Web. Then I've said this is 40. This is 48. One copy, but when you are taking many copies, the prices reduce.
Okay.
These books each is 25,000. Elite ICT, 25,000. 25,000. Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome. Let me hear from Paul. Unmute.
Thank you very much. I'm so much delighted and humbled for today's presentation. Actually, for me, I just don't have any questions. Actually, all my classes have been attending. I appreciate. And I greatly thank you so much for the great work done. Like we have always agreed, I appreciate. And I also thank the members who have attended up to this time, because we are 100, I can see 60, and there are people who are very, very, very attentive. Someone said you have been granted more chances because I was active, so you must be active in every session to have it to the fingertips. Otherwise, Mr. KAKURU, I thank you very much, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me hear from Patience. Unmute Patience. Patience. From there, I want to hear from 5-star H. Patience, talk to me. Patience, are you there? The chance is going to 5-star high school. 5-star, talk to me.
Good evening.
Good
Hello.
evening. Yes.
Good evening to you.
Yes, talk
My
to
name
me.
is Emmanuel, a student at 5-star school.
Mm.
Or what I had is when attempting item 1, especially in database, are we in need of relationships? Otherwise, thank you for the lesson.
If data has 2 tables, you must create relationships. But if it has 1 table, no need of relationships. Keep following me on my YouTube channel. I'm going also to publish another video lesson soon about how to do relationships and that item, how it is done. Okay, let me hear from Vincent. Vincent, unmute.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, you are talking to Vincent Olo from Luero. Now for me, I just want to know whether we can even access the soft copy, and even people who are from far, how can we access it? Thank you.
The what? Access the what?
The textbook.
Yeah, some books are available in soft copies, others are not available. Yours is to use that very number and contact me, and we see how to sort it. But the books reach every corner of the country, provided you use that number.
Okay.
A hand from Biguli SS, be ready. Unmute.
Thank you for this great opportunity. Thank you for this great opportunity. My name is Nwamanya Anita, the school head girl, a student of senior 4, offering ICT. I'm so humbled and so appreciative for this great opportunity that we have gotten a lesson with you. And we really appreciate because we have understood and at least we have got some skills and we know and we accept ourselves to always achieve with these lessons. Thank you.
Yes. A hand from Uring Secondary School. Get ready, Uring. Uring. Uring, please speak. Ram, talk to me. Uring is not ready. Ram. Patrick, get ready as Ram is getting done.
Okay, sir. I was asking how do you know that in Excel now I have to calculate and I have to do the options that you have shown us because they're not written in the question.
They are not written on the question, but I've told you, please understand the task. Because, for example, you saw the task was asking us finally that we get out members with loan outstanding. You get?
Yes.
And we found out that in the Excel data, even it had some columns which were not calculated. So understand the task, understand the scenario itself, and the support files.
Okay, sir. Sir, for me, I thought, when they give you the fees when they are not calculated, for me, I just thought that you have to just calculate them and some include some designs into there. But for you, you went abroad and you started doing much things.
That is the problem. I mean, that is why you attended today's session so that you get better skills, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So, sir, which means I have to.
Let me hear from Patrick.
Thank you, sir. I'm called Biamukama Enuka from Narway SS. My question is, am I supposed, is it good to apply any article in Excel? Thank you, sir.
Provided you can do it, please go ahead and make your work visual appealing. Let me hear from Watts, get ready.
I was asking, which one did you use?
Come again?
Which one did you use?
To do what? Let's hear from Mpiji Mixed. This one, I think I have not gotten it well. Type in the chat. Mpiji Mixed.
Thank you, sir, for the facilitation. Good evening. This is Mpiji Mixed. This is Mpiji Mixed, Kauchi Mzafal speaking.
Yes.
We are asking, can you merge logos, pictures directly into Word or any other application? Thank you.
Come again.
We are asking, can you merge pictures or a video or a logo directly into Word or any other application?
There are some things you can merge into different applications. For example, in Word, you may not put a video directly, but you can put a link. In PowerPoint, you can embed a video directly. The logos can be put in Word, can be put in PowerPoint, can be put in database forms and reports. Let me hear from ICT class 2025.
My name
Please
is
be
Atwed.
Yes.
I student at very second school of Chapel. I'm really grateful that we have managed to attend your session until its end. I really appreciate. Thank you.
You have a question?
No, I'll just appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Let me hear from the good SS again, and we call it a day. The good SS, unmute. So those are my contacts in case you want to contact me for items, but I've told you to keep following KAKURU BENARD on the YouTube channel. More lessons are always posted there now and again. If you can, buy that book for your personal vision, for your success. So the YouTube channel, you just search for KAKURU BENARD and enjoy the lessons. I call it a day if there are no more questions. I thank you very much for your active participation and being here for today. I'm going to organize more sessions for item 2, even sessions for answering paper 1. Yours is to be ready. Make sure you don't leave the session before it ends and benefit to the end. For the items, I've said go on YouTube channel, search for KAKURU BENARD, watch that video on how to attempt item 1 alternative. It is there. Have a great time. I can now open the floor for those who want to chat a bit. You are there, but the live session is stopping.